Over the last 5 games, the Wild weathered the storm against some of the top teams in the National Hockey League. With confidence climbing, Minnesota has proven it can compete with any club. The Wild has been playing its best hockey on the road. Can they keep it rolling tonight in Toronto? Find out next on Fox Sports North. In Toronto tonight to face the Maple Leafs. Minnesota has 10 games remaining on their schedule. This one of only 2 against teams that currently do not hold a playoff spot. That's in stark contrast to the 5-game stretch they just completed against the league's elite, facing the Ducks, the Blues, the Predators, and Capitals. And Minnesota made it through that 5-game stretch with 3 wins.
And if you're going to be elite, you have to beat the elite. And I think the Wild have shown that they like to play against these top teams because they have the lineup that can do it. They're playing with confidence right now, and they've done pretty well to be able to not only beat those teams in many cases, but beat them on the road as well. And the Wild are playing some of their best hockey, and you just want to get through games like this because this one is tough to get up for no matter what kind of team you are.
Ceremony taking place here at the Air Canada Centre tonight, honoring Eric Brewer, who will play in his 1,000th NHL game. Played it Saturday against Ottawa. Interestingly, he's honored by the Maple Leafs. He just arrived in a trade this year and played just 9 games with his current team.
Yeah, but you know what? It's what team you're with, and that's the key right here. And he's going to get awarded the Silver Stick. And there's been a few players. We saw Matt Cook most recently. That has received that stick. It's I've held on to it. It's a heavy thing. You certainly want to play with it, but it's a very heavy memento. And you know, not very many players. He's the 300th in history to get the award. There's Andrew Brunette. A few years ago with the Wild, he received that silver stick for playing in 1,000. So it's an accomplishment to have that kind of durability. He's the 99th defenseman in history to receive that award.
Now let's go down to John McDermott for tonight's national anthems.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and the bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. For say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh, Canada, our home and the native land, true patriot love in all thy sons' command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true, the strong, and the free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
And now we're just about ready for hockey in Toronto. Our Northland Ford starting goaltenders.
Well, Devan Dubnyk, we've talked plenty about him, and this will be yet another test for him. On the front end of a back-to-back on the road, Devan Dubnyk has shown he can play in every circumstance. Bernier, well, he's been good. I mean, he's been pretty good. Look at his numbers, given the fact that this team isn't one of the best defenders in the National Hockey League by any stretch of the imagination. Bernier, I've always liked him as a goaltender, and he's seeing an onslaught of shots and situations time after time. Peter Horacek took over this year. For Randy Carlyle, it's been a tough go, to say the least, as they try and find some motivation. Mike Yeo knows that this is a tough game for his team to play. When you're playing against teams that really don't have a ton to play for, you got to give them a reason to not stay in the game.
And he talked about this being a challenge from a couple areas. He said, number one, you don't want your guys coming in taking somebody lightly. You don't want them coming in thinking that this is just point night. Everybody try to get on the score sheet. But he said if the game doesn't start out the way you'd like it to start, sometimes games like this will see a team apply even more pressure on themselves.
Yeah, you don't want to get into a situation where you're trying to chase or get away from what got you here in the first place. The reason the Wild have won 8 on the road in a row, the reason why the Wild are where they are in the standings is because they've played well as a team with structure, and we'll see if they can apply that here in this hockey game.
Underway in Toronto, you see the Wild forward lineup. Same as what we've seen in recent games. Granlund between Pominville and Parise. Coyle between Fontaine and Vanek. That line's been clicking. And Erik Haula between Brodziak and Bergenheim. The defensive pairings. Suter with Brodin, Spurgeon with Scandella, and Dumbo with Leopold.
That's really things falling into place here for the Wild as they get healthier, and they're able to keep consistency through their lineup in terms of pairings and line mates.
And Riemsdyk comes to center for Toronto. Smith dumps it into the Minnesota zone. Dubnyk out to play it. Pushes it up the boards for Spurgeon. Spurgeon has it tipped away by Lupul, but then controlled by Granlund, who finds Pominville. Parise breaking for the net. A backhander kicked out by Bernier. First good chance of the night goes for Minnesota. Pominville taps to Parise. Plays across to Scandella. Scandella settles it down and fires on goal. Bernier sliding to his left. Hangs on in the Toronto goal.
How do you get a pass in this circumstance? Watch Parise as they work out of the zone. Parise already knows he's getting this, but he's got to get a lane for Pominville to hit him with. So he busts past the defender and he opens up a hole. That's what's called playing away from the puck, quite literally. But when coaches say that, that's what they mean. Do something away from the puck to give the guy with the puck something to do with it. And he does. Gets a good backhander there, and Bernier made the save.
Booth carries into the Minnesota zone. Stripped of the puck by Scandella. Pominville tried to leave it for Parise, but that failed to click. And the Leafs are back with Booth at center ice. Flips it in on the backhand. Also Scandella there to pick it up for Minnesota. Scandella harassed by Lupul. Pominville throws it cross ice for Parise. Brings it in onside. Tried to get it to Granlund, but it's taken away by Gardner. And the former Minnetonka skipper spins away from Granlund. And the Leafs start back. Puck bounces into the Minnesota zone, and it'll be icing against Toronto. A face-off coming back in the Leafs zone.
Toronto's had a very tough go of it. And this city, well, they're a hockey hotbed, to say the least. And it's been very frustrating for the players, for the management, obviously the fans as well, as they just try and find some glimmer of hope as they look to the future here. But this city is definitely a city that's reeling when it comes to their hockey team.
Loose puck at center ice, picked up by Lupul. It's a mini 2-on-1 for Toronto. Lupul trying to center, and it was stripped away by Dumba. Good stick by Dumba on the play. Lupul watched along the boards by Dumba, plays it in behind the net. Leopold there for Minnesota. Gives it to Charlie Coyle, and Coyle pushes it ahead just too far for Fontaine. It was deflected, so there's no icing. McWilliam back to pick it up for Toronto. Plays it up the boards as the Leafs come to center. Sill rolled it across for Panik. Richard Panik goes into the corner. He's bumped off the puck by Dumba. Gardner works his way into the circle. Leopold knocks it off of his stick. Gardner still down low in the offensive zone. Sill pinned up against the boards. He and Charlie Coyle tussling there for a puck. Still tried to work to the middle, and we're going to get a penalty against Charlie Coyle. And Toronto will get the game's first power play chance.
A little bit of work as they tried to rotate that puck up around the top of the circle, and Charlie Coyle was tracking him, but got a little too much of the body there with the wrap and the holding call. And the penalty kill, which we talked about in our pregame show, will show its abilities here. And Charlie gets the stick in on the hip there, and that's what was the call.
And it's going to end quickly. Erik Haula, with his speed escaping the zone, forced the hand on the play of Morgan Rielly. Rielly will go for hooking, and the Toronto power play will end 5 seconds after it started.
Well, Haula was the focus on his birthday here of the penalty kill, and his ability to jump into the play, use his speed, and kill penalties, and he's taken it to heart, and he's taken pride in it. And Rielly had to loop him up there as Haula does what he does best right now, and that is not only kill the penalty, he ended it.
So it's 4-on-4. Neither of these teams have been great in this spot this year. Minnesota outscored 10-5. Toronto outscored 6-2. Brodin works his way into the corner. Plays down low for Koivu. Koivu back to Brodin. He couldn't get a shot off.
If he did, he had an open net. That's how quick he got that puck.
Bozak scoops up the loose puck here for Toronto and starts ahead. Bill Kessel races into the Minnesota zone. Kessel fires, and it deflects off the stick of Suter and out of play.
Well, unfortunately, he's been one of the more maligned players here with Toronto, just given the fact that he's a high-level type player that is not seen great success this season. And you know, maybe it has something to do with the fishbowl that Toronto can be from a media standpoint. Kessel's a relatively quiet guy. Probably doesn't like that kind of attention. Likes to just keep his attention on the ice. But it's been a very tough go for him and his Maple Leafs this year.
Spurgeon races into the Toronto zone. Drops to Granlund. Granlund tried to get it back to Spurgeon. Spurgeon crunched in behind the Toronto goal. The Maple Leafs come away with the puck. Eriksson for Gardner. Gardner plays it cross ice. And Van Riemsdyk comes to center. Van Riemsdyk has it knocked away by Parise at the Minnesota line. And Zach Parise pushes it back into Toronto territory. Parise spins along the boards, waits for support, tried to thread one through for Granlund. Taken away by Gardner. And now it's Van Riemsdyk for the Maple Leafs. Cross ice pass, Kukov for Komarov. Granlund pushes it back for Minnesota. Dumba joins the rush. He's the trailer, trying to go across to Parise, and it was deflected away at the last moment. Canuck plays it up the boards. Van Riemsdyk taken down there by Dumba, and that allows Ryan Suter to grab the loose puck. Dumba back in for Minnesota. Across to Fontaine. Saved by Bernier. Moving to his right. Dumba put Fontaine in all alone on the Toronto goaltender.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dumba is picking his spots. He's picking it well, and he's jumping in on the play. Watch him get involved here. Tried to make a feed to the back door. Didn't go. So what does he do? He gets back on the back check here, and he takes the puck away, and then he reverts back to the transition game the other way, and he'll make a great feed here cross ice. So Matt Dumba is picking his spots, adding offense, adding defense, and he's very involved already in this hockey game.
Canuck with it here for Toronto. 4-on-4 for another 10 seconds as the Leafs come into the offensive zone. Lupul just inside the line, threw it toward the net. A loose puck. Smith had a chance. Scandella to Vanek, and now Mikko Koivu. Coils on. Wild on a power play for 5 seconds. And a nifty poke check there by Brewer. Riley's in alone out of the penalty box, but fires wide. Canuck. And then Smith holds the zone, taken away by Scandella. Flips it in the air for Vanek. Vanek waits for the bouncing puck to settle. Couldn't get a shot away. Now Vanek bumps in the corner with McWilliam. Rielly to the line and past Suter. Icing coming here against Toronto. And we'll get the faceoff back in the Maple Leaf zone. The Maple Leafs team has been in a significant tailspin since just after the first of the year, and it's been up and down the lineup. You go back to January 4th, and take a look at the league's worst plus-minus guys. And notice that those top three make up the first line for the Maple Leafs. For the season, those three guys now a combined minus 100. Jared Spurgeon on there. That's the worst number posted by any Wild player who's been in the lineup over that entire stretch. 239th in the league.
Yeah, you know what? There's no way to really defend that other than to say top lines face top defenders and other top lines. And so maybe that leads to a bit of that. But still, I mean, it really is tough to really
They're not the only ones that face the top defenders.
No, that's true. And that's why I'm saying, you know, definitely... you can't defend it too much. There has to be a part of your game that says if we're not getting it done offensively, then we better get it done defensively.
Over the last 12 games, those three guys are a combined minus 44. Kessel racing in here for Toronto. A shot on goal, knocked down by Dubnyk. Stewart for Minnesota gets it to Brodin in the corner. Stewart with it. Across to Charlie Coyle. His pass just too far for Suter and taken away by McWilliam, who dumps it in. McWilliam playing in just his 7th game with the Maple Leafs tonight. It is college hockey at North Dakota. 3-on-3 for the Wild at the Toronto line. Bergenheim tried to center and hit the side of the net. Phaneuf. And then it's tapped out to center ice by Lindstrom. Wilder quickly back the other way. Bergenheim deflects it in. Erik Haula in on the forecheck for Minnesota. He strips it away from Brewer. But the loose puck is picked up there by Carrick. Brodziak into the corner. Bergenheim out for Haula. Taps to Brodziak. His shot was blocked. And Lindstrom has it for Toronto. Carries to center ice. Fires it into the Minnesota zone. Lively bounce off the end wall. And Carrick had a chance but pushed it wide. Panik lost it to Haula along the wall. The Wild come to center with Matt Dumba.
It was a good pickup by Leopold. He knew that he had to manage the puck off the wall as well as the player driving in. So he basically had to have eyes in the back of his head.
Leafs race back through neutral ice. Komarov into the Minnesota zone. Cuts to the middle. His shot deflects wide. He rides Granlund into the wall, and that allows Parise to come to center ice. Just onside with Pominville at the line. Parise ridden out by Gardner. Granlund along the end boards, looking for Pominville in the high slot. Finds him, but his shot is blocked. Pominville could not pull the trigger on the one-timer, and that gave the Leafs a chance to get in the shooting lane.
Just had to try and settle that puck down. It came through a bit of a crowd, and I think it was up on edge. Pominville tried to settle it down, and as we've talked about before, things have to happen quick.
Komarov comes through neutral ice, dumps it into the Minnesota zone as the Wild will change. Brodin takes a whack from Still as he carries it out to the Minnesota line, plays it cross ice, but it's out of the reach of Niederreiter. McWilliam has it here for Toronto.
And Stewart gave a little poke to one of the Toronto players going back to the bench.
Lupul bumps there with Niederreiter. You can see the Leafs determined to play the body here. They are 3rd in the NHL in hits for the season. Only the Islanders and Kings have collected more hits than the Maple Leafs. Koivu for Stewart. Stewart to Niederreiter, who works his way into the Toronto zone. Niederreiter's shot is deflected wide by McWilliam and then covered by Bernier. Scoreless early in Toronto.
Back to the Air Canada Center. No score early on between the Wild and the Leafs. There's Thomas Vanek. Won a national championship with the Minnesota Golden Gophers back in the year 2002. And speaking of national championships, a big one over the weekend for the Gopher women's hockey team on Sunday. They defeated Harvard 4-1. It's their 6th all-time national championship and their 3rd in the last 4 years. And one of the seniors that enjoyed through those championships, Rachel Ramsey and I had a conversation today, and she said they tried to start a new tradition. The head coach, Brad Frost, came up with the idea. After watching all the basketball teams over the years cut down the nets on the court, they decided to cut out the nets at Ritter Arena and give every player a part of those nets. She's got hers hanging in her hockey locker. She plans on making a collage of some great photos and memorabilia from her career at the U of M and have that net forever. I like the new tradition, guys. I'm not sure it's ever going to carry over to the National Hockey League level, but you see basketball teams do it all the time. And congratulations to Brad Frost, his coaching staff, and the University of Minnesota women's hockey team. 3 and 4 years. Pretty cool.
Thank goodness, Kevin, their tradition didn't go the way of the men a few years ago where they dyed their hair blonde and shaved their heads. That's something that the ladies are very smart about.
Well, the University of Minnesota men's team received their playoff schedule this week. They'll face the UMD Bulldogs in the first round. A few comments, I'm sure, throughout the Wild locker room with former Bulldog Justin Fontaine and this roster speckled with former Gophers. Kevin Gorg mentioned Thomas Vanek, a part of the national championship team back in 2003.
I remember running into Fontaine right after they'd won that in the concourse, or no, excuse me, the lower levels of the XL, and the hair choices they made were a little bit to be desired for. But hey, when you win, you can do what you want, and people will think it's colorful.
Fontaine won a national title, as you mentioned, in St. Paul with the Bulldogs. Thomas Vanek won his in Buffalo with the Gophers, beating New Hampshire in the final. Vanek scored the winner in overtime in the semifinals that year to beat Michigan. Kyle Brodziak has it here at center. Fires it in. Bergenheim in on the forecheck for the Wild. McWilliams there for the Leafs. Tapped it across to Bozak. Bozak sends it right wide. Kessel's in. Fires, and a blocker saved by Dubnyk. Van Riemsdyk along the wall. Plays it down low. Bozak couldn't collect it cleanly. Bergenheim tried to spring Brodziak through neutral ice. Intercepted by Riley, who hands it off to Kessel. Kessel puts on the brakes in the Minnesota zone. Watched by Dumba as he plays it across. A shot deflected. And Bergenheim picks it up for Minnesota. Bergenheim flips it into the Toronto zone. Bernier to play it behind the net. Leaves it there for Morgan Riley. Amarov. And now Still into the Minnesota zone. Still has it stripped away by Scandella. And it's played back out to neutral ice. Phaneuf dumps it in for Toronto. Spurgeon back along the boards. He's dumped in the corner. Wild come to center with Vanek. Across to Fontaine. Fontaine lost it at the Toronto line. Scandella back for Spurgeon. And then it's tipped in by Charlie Coyle. This line has been dangerous for Minnesota lately. Coyle between Vanek and Fontaine. Vanek in on the forecheck here. Brewer pushes it up the boards, but it's taken away there. And Phaneuf has it for Toronto. Slides it forward for Sill. Into the Minnesota zone. Shooter picks it up behind the net. Played it to an open wing. Nobody there for the Wild. Booth down low. Walks out front on the backhand and sent it high and wide. Erickson into the corner. Trevor Smith is there. Tied up by Coyle. Booth supports the play for Toronto. Booth bumped by Shooter. Tries to work his way to the middle. Shooter cuts him off again. Drops it back to the point. Now across to McWilliams. McWilliams shot deflected by Smith, but knocked down by Brodin. Pominville with a quick pass for Parisi. Parisi comes to center. Crisscrosses with Shooter. Looks it into the Toronto zone. Smith unable to clear, but on the second try, Lupo will. David Booth into the Minnesota zone. The former Canuck fires on goal, and it's held by Devan Dubnyk. Toronto starting to create chances in a scoreless first period. 0, Maple Leafs 0 in Toronto. Last time out for the Wild Saturday against St. Louis, Jonas Brodin scored the game winner. It was his first career game-winning goal, and he became the 17th player on the Wild roster to be credited with a game winner this year. It's our Toyota key stat. Only the Ducks, Rangers, and Canucks have had that many different players pick up game winners.
Oh, representative of Wild using everybody, using especially a lot of their defense in on the play, and yet another Wild defender gets a game-winning goal.
Gardner has it at center here for Toronto. Back in his own zone. Pominville applying pressure for Minnesota. Spurgeon got a skate on it. Kessel works his way in. Tried to center. A sprawling play by Scandella broke it up. Granlund. Cross ice for Scandella. Waits for the deflection off the boards. Now pinches into the corner. Parisi to Pominville. He didn't get all of it. And the Maple Leafs come back to center. Van Riemsdyk to Kessel at the Minnesota line. Deflects it into the Wild end. Brodin back to pick it up. Granlund to Pominville. And the Wild come to center. Tom and Bill to Parisi. They crisscross. Parisi fires, and it deflects into the netting and out of play. Baseball is back, and your Minnesota Twins are ready to take the field. Fox Sports North gives you an inside look into the 2015 Minnesota Twins, including exclusive interviews with players and coaches. The Twins season preview tomorrow at 9 on Fox Sports North.
Grass isn't green yet, but they're working on it. It'll be there quickly.
Yeah, it's greener at Target Field than it is in your yard.
Yeah, that's true.
I can promise you that.
Well, I can promise you that, too.
Suter plays it in for Niederreiter. Niederreiter fires. It was deflected wide. Suter down from the point. Holds his own for Minnesota. Koivu battling with Komarov along the end wall. Komarov has him tied up. Koivu pushes it into the corner. Koivu's the first man there. Niederreiter back on his feet just in time to be knocked back down by Komarov. Stewart trying to keep the play alive for Minnesota. He's double teamed in the corner. Koivu then takes a jab from Komarov in the back of the head. Koivu's lost his helmet on the play. And the Maple Leafs start back. Panook plays it ahead. Sill tangled up with Brodin at the Minnesota line. Suter over to pick it up for the Wild. Able to force it up the wall past Panik. Haula in for Minnesota. His shot goes wide. In after his own rebound. And he was tied up just enough by McWilliam. Niederreiter fires in a save by Bernier. Brodziak now has it in the corner for Minnesota. Leaves it there for Haula. Out to the point, Dumba. Bergenheim has his shot deflected off the shin pad of Panik and out of play.
Well, on his birthday, Haula having a pretty good start to the game. This line has been very good. They can make a difference in a game. And right there busting in, getting his own bank off the backboard. But he's already drawn a penalty in this game. Talked about his abilities on the penalty kill. He's doubled his time on ice on the penalty kill this year than last. And Mikko Koivu right there getting the visor and the helmet put back into working order. They're going to be tested physically, and you mentioned that earlier. And there's going to be a little extra nastiness. That's where the Wild have to keep their heads about them.
Bergenheim with a takeaway works his way into the Toronto zone and fires on goal. Now, you don't think about this trip as being necessarily the heavy kind of games that you might when you look at a schedule that includes Anaheim or St. Louis. But the reality is they'll face two of the top three teams in the league in terms of hits on this road trip, with the Islanders, the top club, tomorrow night.
And people have to keep in mind that the stat, which is the hit, is technically separating a player from the puck. And I know it's subjective somewhat, but the fact is that some teams we consider heavier because of the way they play you along the wall and the work you have to do to get to the net. They may not be big hitters, but they're big bodies that you have to get through, whereas other teams will just literally finish their check every time they have a chance to.
And a lot of it obviously has to do with how much your opponents have the puck. You're a lot more likely to pile up hit numbers if you're chasing the puck all night, and that's where the Maple Leafs have been a good portion of this season. Charlie Coyle along the boards for Minnesota. Fontaine out to the point. Spurgeon with a drive that goes wide. Scandella centers, and Bernier handles the deflection. We're going to face off in the Toronto zone. 0 in Toronto. Thomas Vanek playing his best hockey since joining the Wild. He has the longest active scoring streak in the National Hockey League. 7 consecutive games with a point over that stretch. 5 goals and 3 assists, pushing his season totals to 18 and 29.
And it wasn't that long ago here, or maybe even just a couple weeks ago, where he had found himself, just because of the way the Wild were juggling things up and trying to find chemistry, that he was on, 5 or 6 different lines in a span of 8 or 9 games. And now he's found some consistency with that line. He's played with Fontaine and Coyle quite a bit, and they're starting to feel it together, and they are showing dividends in many different areas.
I asked him about that this morning and said, what's been key to the success of your line with Coyle and Fontaine? He said, well, first and foremost, we've been together for almost a month.
Yeah. There's something to be said about that, and they've done a good job in the level of consistency that they bring game in and game out.
said he really stresses the communication, particularly with Charlie Coyle, who's not the most vocal individual, but said, I really want to make sure that we're talking every time we get to the bench. What'd you see on the last play? What might we try the next time we're out there? And he said that's been a big part of them developing chemistry as quickly as they have.
And then that's also a key for a veteran player talking to a younger player. Hey, let's face it, Charlie Coyle is still considered a young player, even though he's been in the league for a few years now. And so, I mean, young guys like that need to hear from players that have been in the league and seen so many different circumstances. I want to hear what you think about that shift, where you think you need to be, and the Wild structure has also helped that out.
Season ticket holders, you can earn bonus points through Wild Rewards. Enter the code GLOVES under your My Profile page to receive 100 bonus points. Offer ends at midnight tomorrow. Face off in the offensive zone for Minnesota. Koivu pulls it back to Stewart. Dumba just does hold the zone, but now Panik goes across to Sill. Into the Minnesota zone. Dumba back to scoop it up for the Wild. Has it poke checked away, but Mikko Koivu right there to support the play for the Wild. And cleared out the center. Brewer back to pick it up. Game number 1,001 for Eric Brewer tonight. His 10th with the Maple Leafs. Stewart into the Toronto zone. Drops to Dumba. Shot saved by Bernier. And Bernier may be getting his first look at how quick the Matt Dumba slap shot reaches the net.
And it was a great job by Stewart fending off defenders and then getting the puck in the wheelhouse of Matt Dumba, who can just unload on a shot. And just a great rush up the ice. So Stewart showing deceptive speed here in the last couple of games. And this rocket just comes through the crowd, and Bernier does a good job of at least hanging on to it long enough to get the whistle. You see Nino Niederreiter there looking at the referee as if to say very quick on the whistle, but that Dumba's numbers showing that he has truly come of age here this season.
Fontaine plays it in behind the Toronto goal. Eriksson ahead to Smith. Booth at the Minnesota line has it knocked away by Spurgeon, but Smith is there, centered it, and Lupul had it knocked away by Scandella. Scandella trying to join this rush. Vanek centers, hit a skate. Fontaine, first man on the puck in the corner for Minnesota. Fontaine plays it around behind the net. Eriksson is there to pick it up for Toronto. Lupul to Smith, and then Booth jumps around Spurgeon, plays it into the corner. He's quickly cut off by Brodin. Charlie Coyle grabs a loose puck and starts it back the other way for Minnesota. Coyle plays cross ice for Vanek off his skate and controlled by the Leafs as Minnesota will change. Gardner starts back ahead for Toronto. Gardner reaches the red line and dumps it in. Dubnyk to play it there for Minnesota. Tapped ahead for Erik Haula. Haula for Bergenheim into the Toronto zone. Bergenheim puts on the brakes. Tried to throw it cross ice for Brodziak, but that was easily intercepted. The Leafs come back.
Toronto hasn't had a lot of great chances, and what Dubnyk just did on that dump in shows you one reason why. He stopped the play and got it right back to his players to move it right back out of the zone. It's so key. We've mentioned it before, but Dubnyk getting back there to stop pucks from going around, all the way around to the forechecker is very important.
Haula plays it ahead for Brodziak. Able to tip it into the Toronto zone. Van Riemsdyk back to play it across to Phaneuf. And then Brewer. Brewer reaches center ice and dumps it in. Didn't get it deep in the Minnesota zone. The Wild quickly able to clear, but it'll be icing against Minnesota. And a face-off back in the neighborhood of Devan Dubnyk. Menards game reset. Dubnyk making his 31st consecutive start with the Minnesota Wild. Mentioned Vanek's point streak. Fontaine has been on a roll for Minnesota. Dubnyk's numbers with Minnesota are remarkable. His goals against average almost a full goal lower than it was in Arizona. 2.72 with the Coyotes, 1.76 with Minnesota. Mike Yeo appreciated being asked why the Wild had been good for Dubnyk rather than the reverse, which seems to be the first question in every visiting city.
Well, both have fed off each other. There's no question about that.
Granlund drops to Parise. tried to spin away from a check. Now Parisi along the boards. Forces it down low for Granlund. Got it to Pominville. He and Parisi collide, but Pominville manages to play the puck back to the corner. Parisi bumped a couple of times by Riley. Spurgeon played it back in. The Wild will have to touch up on the offensive line. That allows Toronto to come the other way. Van Riemsdyk in the corner. Played to Bozak. He's tied up by Spurgeon. Bozak centered for Kessel. His shot was blocked by Spurgeon. And Granlund has it there for Minnesota. Wild changing as Marco Scandella sets it up. We're inside 2 minutes left in a scoreless first period in Toronto. Stewart in for Minnesota. Picks it up along the boards. Plays to the point for Suter. Back to Stewart. Settles it down. Fires. And it was deflected by Niederreiter, but wide. Long precise pass sends Panik into the Minnesota zone. He's bumped there by Suter. And Niederreiter has it for the Wild. In behind to Brodin. Jonas Brodin ahead for Koivu. The captain taps to Stewart, who then throws it across to Niederreiter. Koivu back to Niederreiter. A shot and a save by Bernier.
Good little line rush here. The combination, we talk about different lines coming together, and Niederreiter, since he's been on this line, has been very key as well. And Koivu with a good little give and go here. Stewart setting the play up, and then the quick little feed here. And Niederreiter's most effective when he's getting down near the front of the net. He tried to go on the sharp angle there in between the post and the goaltender.
Coyle takes the draw for Minnesota. Coyle able to center. They score! Vanek took the first shot. Charlie Coyle the second, and Minnesota is on the board first late in the period.
Looked like McWilliam tried to get his stick there, and it was not very helpful as this one gets pushed into the net. Wild haven't had a ton of chances, and they haven't won a ton of faceoffs, but this one is one. And Charlie Coyle benefits from the fact that he just stuck with it. We've talked often about it not always being a clean faceoff win that technically wins a draw. Sometimes you have to go get it, or your winger has to go get it. And in this case, Charlie Coyle, a second effort and third effort gets him a goal.
Coyle with his 8th point in the last 9 games for Minnesota on 4 goals and 4 assists. It was his work right off the face-off circle that created the scoring chance for the Wild. And he's rewarded with his 11th of the year. Vanek the only assist. And that extends Vanek's streak to 8 consecutive games with a point. The longest active streak in the National Hockey League. Edmonton's Jordan Eberle, coming into tonight, had also scored in 7 in a row. Bergenheim flips it in for Minnesota. 20 seconds left in the period as the Leafs go back to pick it up. Brodin has it there for Minnesota. Talked off the top about the fact that the Wild had scored first in 6 of the 8 during this 8-game road winning streak. They're on the board first again here in Toronto. As the first period comes to an end, Charlie Coyle the only goal in a 1-0 Minnesota game.
I think the Wild picked the pace up as the period went on, but they did show patience. They didn't get away from their game, and they didn't give up a lot of glaring chances. And the patience paid off as they knew eventually the depth of their lineup would find one line getting in there with an opportunity that would go in the net.
Our CenturyLink link to what's next. A little hockey logic from Tom Chorsky coming up in our studio. But first, Kevin Gord will chat with the goal scorer Charlie Coyle here in Toronto. Coyle's goal has Minnesota in front 1-0 after 1. Wild on top on the strength of Charlie Coyle's goal. Is the 11th of the season, his 4th in the last 9 games. Coyle has been on a scoring surge for the Wild. In fact, coming into tonight, multiple points in 2 of the last 3 after he had achieved that just once in the previous 34.
So key for him, especially since he moved to the center ice position to find a way to be effective. And there's Kessel, not very happy, giving an extra stick. And he'll go to the penalty box for interference. And Nino Niederreiter obviously getting under his skin.
So Kessel to the box just 4 seconds into the second period.
Well, he gave him a chop, and then he gave him a little poke there just for good measure.
The chop called, the poke not. And the Wild to the power play for the first time in legitimate fashion. They had a 5-second power play in the first period. Minnesota with 4 power play goals in their last 6 games. Koivu up front with Parise and Pominville. Suter and Dumba on the points. Dumba into the corner, tied up by Brewer. He tried to center, but the Leafs able to clear. The Wild will have to go the length of the ice once more. Dubnyk leaves it for Ryan Suter. Suter headmans for Parise. Parise gains the zone, gives to Pominville. Pominville off the boards for Suter. Suter back to Pominville. Gives it to Parise. They trade spots. Suter, Dumba fires, deflected wide. Pominville fanned on the rebound. Booth able to play it out to center ice. Works his way into the Minnesota zone. Bumped there by Dumba. Wild in the midst of a change. Phaneuf shorthanded for Toronto. Centers. And Booth with a quick shot. Kicked out by Dubnyk.
What a save there by Dubnyk on the pad. Booth, what a great job by him in that shift. Takes it all the way down, buys time till he gets help, and then creates a little give and go where he gets a one-time shot right in front of the net.
Suter for Stewart, who reaches the Toronto line. Didn't get it very deep, and Brewer clears. And a less than impressive power play for Minnesota. Wild start back. 22 seconds left in the man advantage as Brodin comes to center, drops to Granlund. Granlund into the Toronto zone, gives to Vanek. Tried to center, Spurgeon breaking for the net, but it's taken away by Brewer, who sends it out to neutral ice. Panik dumps it in. Leafs have scored 7 shorthanded goals this year. The penalty kill overall, number 20 in the league. Stewart for Vanek. Vanek fires, glove save Bernier, and he hangs on.
Well, good kill here as Booth does a good job getting the puck out of the zone first of all, but then buying a little bit of time as he works against both defenders, Dumba and Suter. And then Phaneuf will join him, and this one-timer right in front of the net required a very good save by Dubnyk. Booth hasn't had a point in 4 games, but just prior to that had a 6-game point streak where he had 5 goals. So he can be dangerous when he gets his game going, and that was a heck of a shift for him.
Fontaine in the corner, leaves it for Niederreiter. Niederreiter knocked down by Riley. Spurgeon holds the zone at the half wall. He's hit there by Van Riemsdyk. Niederreiter stuck on the backhand, plays it behind for Fontaine. Fontaine spins away from Riley, centered. Niederreiter was tied up by Gardner and didn't get much on the shot. Scandella into the corner for Coyle. Gardner got a piece of it. Loose at the top of the circle. Fontaine to Scandella, wanted the one-timer, but whipped. And Riemsdyk comes to center. Forced to the outside by Scandella, and Scandella just calmly strips him of the puck. Plays it ahead for Niederreiter. Across to Fontaine, who dumps it in. Wild will change as Dion Phaneuf sets up behind his goal. Toronto captain, 28 points this year at 31 a year ago. Brodziak bumps with Panik at center. Bergenheim plays it back to Dumba. Dumba across for Leopold. And then Brodziak sidesteps a man and flips it in. Brewer there to scoop it up. Islanders, Oilers, Blues, Lightning, Ducks. All on the resume of Eric Brewer before reaching Toronto this year. Battle along the boards. Carrick plays it back down low for Sill. He's tied up by Erik Haula. Panik has it at the half wall. Watched by Leopold. Tried to work his way toward the net, and Leopold pulls him down. Penalty coming against Minnesota. Phaneuf fires. It deflects off the end glass. Haula and Carrick hustle after it in the corner. Carrick works to the middle, and his shot right on is held by Dubnyk. And the holding call coming.
And Dumba in there giving Panik a couple of pokes and hoping that he would fight back and maybe draw the even up call here. I'm not sure if that will occur. But Dumba getting very involved in his first game against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Right here, good move, and Leopold got his arm wrapped around. So it looks like Leopold will be the only one heading to the box.
And the Leafs will go to the power play. Leopold was asking for the possibility of the embellishment call against Panik. Does not get it. Toronto with the extra man. Toronto on the power play this year at 17%. They've been really struggling lately. 3 for 36 over their last 9 games. All year they've been susceptible to shorthanded goals against. They've allowed a dozen of them. 3 more than any other team in the league. Penguins are next on that list. They've surrendered 9. Bozak circles in his own zone. Plays it to Phaneuf. Kessel backs away from the Wild blue line. Now as it deflects off the heel of a stick, and Riley brings it in offside. And the Maple Leafs power play appears just disjointed early.
They get plenty of them. They're third in the National Hockey League in power play opportunities. 253 coming into this game on the season. They have 43 power play goals. But given the number of opportunities that they've had and that 43, their percentage is obviously not near the top of the league.
Bernier sets it up here. And it's Gardner to start it back the other way for Toronto. Panik fires it in from the Minnesota line. Smith leaves it in the corner for Lupul. Heavy pressure applied by Spurgeon that forces the turnover, and Haula comes to center to Brodziak. Brodziak tried to go all the way across for Scandella. Maple Leafs come away with it with Panik. Hold on. At center, off the skate of Granlund. They do gain the zone. Lupul along the wall. Spins away from Ryan Suter. Joffrey Lupul, watched by Brodziak. Plays it into the corner. Suter bumps Panik. Separates him from the puck, but Smith is there. Back to Panik. Panik plays down low. Smith a shot saved by Dubnyk. Rebound tipped away by Suter, but controlled by Panik. Panik fires wide, and the rebound winds up all the way back down. The Leafs will have to go the length of the ice. Down to 11 seconds in the power play. Gardner. Lindstrom at the Minnesota line. Gives to Sill. He fires, and a quick kick save by Dubnyk. Leopold just out of the box. Pokes it away from Phaneuf. Wilder at full strength. Penalty killers are 2 for 2. Fontaine fires it in from just outside the Toronto line, and it's kicked up and out of play by Bernier. Minnesota maintains their 1-0 lead in Toronto. Jamie 5 points back, and they have a game in hand. When compared to the Minnesota Wild, those teams will meet in St. Paul later this week. Very important back-to-back games on home ice for the Wild against Calgary and Los Angeles.
Consider the games the Wild have had all the way down the stretch here, and they've all been very meaningful. As you mentioned, this is one of the ones that really, from a opponent standpoint, doesn't figure into that mix, but everything else seems to really have weight for the postseason.
Smith trying to spin away from trouble, plays it up the boards. Lupul throws it out to neutral ice. Koivu settles it down and plays it in. 10 games left for the Wild, 8 of them against teams currently holding a playoff spot. Hoyden's backhander here, kicked off by Bernier. One of the two exceptions, Toronto here tonight. The other, the defending Cup champs from Los Angeles. Puck was deflected, so there will be no penalty. Every weekday, gear up for the racing season with NASCAR Race Hub. Best coverage, biggest names, and the most access. It's the daily show of record for NASCAR Nation. Catch NASCAR Race Hub weeknights at 6 Eastern on Fox Sports 1, streaming live on Fox Sports Go. After a discussion, there will be no penalty and a face-off in the Toronto zone. Granlund on the draw for Minnesota against Bozak. And the Leafs control with Phil Kessel. Spurgeon circles back in his own zone. Parise in for Minnesota. Across to Pominville. Caught him on the backhand. Couldn't get a shot away. Now centers. Parise on the backhand. Saved by Bernier. Parise was then dumped by Gardner on the play.
Like he might have caught something up high there. He stepped on his own stick and went down, but not before he had a couple of good looks at it. Right in front of the net. Puck is...
Stick across the face. From time to time, that'll be called a high stick.
It wasn't his own player either.
Why it wasn't. Kessel comes to center and fires it in.
It's pretty quick. They caught him up fairly quick. But a player's natural reaction there should have tipped off the referee.
Suter will pick it up here behind the net for Minnesota. Off the boards, Pominville taps it across to Granlund. Granlund leaves for Pominville. He fires. Saved by Bernier. Gardner to Van Riemsdyk. Van Riemsdyk all the way across, too far for Kessel. And icing called here against Toronto. Faceoff will come back in the Maple Leaf zone. All rights to the broadcast are reserved. A rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, telecommunication to the public, or other unauthorized use of the broadcast without the express written permission of the Minnesota Wild is prohibited. Coyle and Bozak on the draw. Leopold at neutral for Minnesota. Coyle taps it back for Dumba, and Fontaine has it at the Toronto line. This pass intercepted and cleared. It'll again be icing against the Leafs, and a face-off back in Toronto territory.
Well, Minnesota Wild haven't done a great job in the face-off circle, but at least all the face-offs are being taken down in the Maple Leaf zone. So 75% of them so far in this hockey game have occurred in the Leafs end of the ice. And one of them, the man who's taking it right now, scored after he was able to get the loose puck.
Coyle wins this one cleanly. A shot got through. Bernier with a save. Vanek in, centers. Fontaine can't get a stick on it. He was tied up by Gardner.
Good box out there by Gardner.
Brodin tried to sneak one through for Vanek. It's deflected by Kessel. Those two former Gophers collide in the corners. Fontaine has it. Gives to Charlie Coyle. Coyle leaves it behind. Nobody there for Minnesota. And Kessel banks it off the wall for Van Riemsdyk. He's tied up by Coyle. Fontaine has it for Minnesota. Leafs able to clear to center, and Ryan Suter's there to Vanek. Vanek brings it in onside. Spins away from Bozak. Across for Erik Haula. Haula circles the net. Trade spots with Fontaine. Goes to Vanek. Penalty coming against Toronto. Pominville with a deflection. Now he centers to Fontaine, who pushed it wide. And we get the whistle and a roughing call against the Maple Leafs. Minnesota will go on the power play after a tremendous scoring chance for Jason Pominville on the feed by Vanek.
Some better and better looks as we go further into this hockey game. Spending more time in the offensive zone, and they're drawing chances and now penalties. Here is the chance in front of the net on the back door. And then a quick little feed there to Fontaine, who just couldn't get it angled towards the net.
Power play chance for Minnesota. Koivu. Out to the point for Suter. Back to Koivu. Koivu to Suter. Winds, fires, save Bernier. Koivu's quickly on it. Gives to Pominville in the circle. Pominville. Back to Koivu. Across for Dumba. Dumba waits. Looks. Now plays down low for Pominville. Up high to Suter. It was deflected. Suter gloves and drops. Koivu. Back to Suter. Suter to Koivu. Koivu at the top of the circle. Down low Parisi. Back to Koivu. In the middle Pominville. Up high Suter. Dumba didn't get much of it. Off the heel of his stick. Dumba able to recover. Has it poked away and then stolen by Smith. Wild had a lot of time in the offensive zone early on the power play. Koivu sends it in behind for Dumba. Ryan Suter starts ahead for Minnesota. Granlund off to Pominville. Back to Granlund and then down low for Parisi. Parisi to the point, Spurgeon. Spurgeon across for Dumba. Dumba walks in. His shot blocked. Dumba has it back in the corner. Trying to get it to Pominville. Parisi settles it down. Goes to Spurgeon up high. Back to Dumba along the wall. In the middle, Parisi to Dumba. Down low, Pominville. Parisi whiffed on it. Rebound controlled by Granlund. Up high, Spurgeon. Spurgeon walks to the middle. Spurgeon still with it. Now plays it back. Brodin a drive and a glove save by Bernier.
Yeah, total lane there to the net. As Brodin and Spurgeon just came on a line change, and it was a fairly fluid one as Dumba went off. You could tell Dumba desperately wanted to shoot the puck in so many chances. He just couldn't get something through. Getting a little bit, this is the penalty, or that led to the penalty. As, well, they'll take a few liberties here and there when they can, and that one was caught. And so the Leafs will rough up the Wild as much as they can here.
Dubnyk out to play it for Minnesota. Final rush on the power play for the Wild as Granlund races into the Toronto zone. Vanek plays down low off the end boards. Granlund there. Van Riemsdyk is back on. The Leafs are at full strength. Stewart in the corner for Minnesota. Escapes Panook. Centers and Vanek with a quick shot kicked out by Bernier. Van Riemsdyk fires it in. Brodin back to pick it up for Minnesota. He avoids a hit by Carrick. Hanek. And now Carrick. Carrick tried to fire from close range. That was knocked down by Brodin. And Brodin plays it out through neutral ice. Vanek has it at the Toronto line. Vanek looking for a lane. Flips down low for Spurgeon. Spurgeon tried to center. Stewart was there. But Bernier got a piece of it, and Gardner lugs it back for Toronto. And the Leafs offside here as Lindstrom made an extra move at the line. Thomas Vanek just after the power play expires with a great chance for the Wild. They still lead 1-0.
And Jordan Leopold paired up with the youngster Matt Dumba again tonight here in Toronto. I talked to Leopold this morning about playing with Dumba. He said he's in his ear the whole game. Every shift, talking to the young man about the good, the bad of the shift, and how you always need to be moving forward. They sit together in the locker room back in St. Paul. Same thing. He's always in his ear, and Dumba tends to remind Leopold once in a while that when he made that cup run in Calgary, he was just a youngster. 9 years old in the rink watching him play in that game, and that makes Jordan Leopold feel a little bit old, guys.
A little bit old. He still smiles when that story is presented. And Dumba just continues to get stronger and stronger. Last 3 games, in each case, he's established a new career high for time on ice. 21:08 against Nashville, 21.5 against Washington, and 22:45 against St. Louis. 1 second more, I might add, than Ryan Suter played that night.
Yeah, it doesn't happen too often where you outplay a time on ice-wise Ryan Suter, who literally, or not literally, but he seems to have an oxygen tank on his back because he doesn't seem to tire. And as for Jordan Leopold, he should be proud of the fact that he was been around that long. That longevity, not easy in a rough league like the National Hockey League.
Bergenheim carries to center. And the Wild are offside. Well, Devin Dubnyk grew up in the same neighborhood as Matt Dumba in Calgary, and even he says, but that was about 100 years before Dumba was wandering the streets.
Yeah, Dubnyk, and actually funny story about Dumba is a gas station near his house had a Dubnyk picture that was signed hanging on the wall in there. They didn't know each other back then, but yes, they did live in the same neighborhood, albeit years apart.
Marco Scandella back to pick it up here for Minnesota. Scandella racing away from Kessel. Gives to Stewart. He goes across to Koivu. It's off his skate and back into Wild territory. Jared Spurgeon there for Minnesota. Niederreiter up the boards for Stewart. Stewart with Spurgeon breaking for the net. Waits for support. Gives to Niederreiter. He fires and a quick skate save by Bernier. Niederreiter around behind the net. Spurgeon picks it up along the boards. Spurgeon to Niederreiter. Niederreiter centered. Was looking for a deflection by Spurgeon, but it lines up out at neutral ice.
Well, Bernier's been doing a good job of shutting down the angle. And Niederreiter's had a couple chances from that angle, but this time he's elected to go right to the back door.
Koivu in for Minnesota. Fires wide, and then Bernier denies him on the rebound. We'll take another look at this great scoring chance for Mikko Koivu in a moment.
Mikko Koivu with a drive up the middle. He saw a bit of daylight, so he took it very hard down the middle and tried to split the defense. His shot missed, but he stuck with it. Bernier had to come out and make a pretty good save off the back wall. Wild still unable to find any magic on the power play, but this one almost manifested itself into a goal.
Offensive zone draw for Minnesota. Koivu will be removed from the circle. Komarov will now draw against Stewart. Koivu, the only Wild centerman who's been better than 50-50 on the draws tonight. And his is only a moderate advantage. He's won 7 and lost 6. Leafs will be offside if they don't exit the zone, so they spin away, and that allows Matt Dumba to carry it forward for the Wild. Across to Ryan Suter, and ahead for Stewart. He winds and fires off the end glass. Koivu for Stewart, tried to center. Niederreiter was in behind the net, and Panik has it for the Leafs. Across to Komarov, who knocks it out of the air, then battles with Dumba. Suter pushes it up the wall. Koivu has it there for Minnesota, chips it out to neutral ice. Dumba has his pass hit Niederreiter. Wild in the midst of a change. Stewart dumps it in.
Here the
Coyle in on the forecheck.
Here the Maple Leafs yelling for too many men as the Wild were making a change. Puck right by the bench.
Panik tried to center. That was deflected away. And Vanek quickly across. Too far for Coyle. Eriksson has it there for Toronto. Back to McWilliams. And then ahead for Lupo. Lupo drops it back in his own zone. 4.5 to go, second period. The only goal tonight scored in the first period by Charlie Coyle. And it's 1-0 for the Wild. Vanek bumped by Eriksson. The puck comes out to center. Smith across to McWilliams, who plays it ahead for Booth. Leopold back for Minnesota. Around to Brodin. Brodin, who scored the game winner in Minnesota's win over St. Louis Saturday. It was his first career game-winning goal. Vanek slammed into the boards by McWilliams and taken down. Lupo comes to center and into the Minnesota zone. Stripped away by Spurgeon. And we get a whistle behind the play. There's going to be a slash against Vanek. This was a retaliation slash after McWilliams had blasted him into the side wall.
Yeah, I think it was more the fact that he pressed him against the wall and kind of held him there as Vanek was trying to keep the puck in along the half wall. And eventually they kind of tangled a little bit with the response slash.
After the hit, McWilliam just held him down for a couple of seconds, and out of frustration, Vanek took a whack across the hands. So the Leafs go on the power play. Third chance tonight for Toronto. Bozak lost it to Brodziak, could not clear. Phaneuf fires high and wide. Rebound cleared to the line. Riley plays down low. Bozak bumped by Spurgeon. Van Riemsdyk up high for Riley. Across to Phaneuf. Kessel fires, kicked out by Dubnyk. And Howell is able to clear for Minnesota.
And he gets hit hard, and a slash coming from Brodziak on Phaneuf. A response to him stepping up, and he wants to fight Phaneuf, and there they go. This is a response to the hit Phaneuf put on Howell a little bit late enough that Brodziak said, not on my watch, and so they decide to throw them a little bit here. Both the players tying up very well, but Brodziak recognizes that with the Wild playing so well, especially with the penalty kill, does not want any extracurriculars taken on his penalty kill line mate. And so he gets in there with a great response.
Boy, Brodziak finally gets Phaneuf's helmet off. Not sure he has enough gas left in the tank to deliver a punch. And the fight comes to an end. Both men will head straight to the locker rooms with just 3 minutes left in the period.
Yeah, Haula chipped it out, and we've seen Haula do such a good job up high there against either a forward or a defenseman on the power play, and that's why when he was hit, Brodziak responded.
Ryan Suter waiting, and I'm sure asking the question, why not call the first slash against Phaneuf? That started everything.
Brodziak got in there with a chop as well, so see how this one plays out.
The official signaling 5-on-5, but the reality is it won't be 5-on-5 because the Wild were already shorthanded. And now he corrects himself and says, yep, let's go 5-on-4. Faceoff will come in the Toronto zone. Wild bench still barking about the fact that there was no slash called against Phaneuf that instigated everything there. Fifth time that Brodziak has dropped the gloves this year. That leads the Wild. About halfway through this Toronto power play, Lupul comes to center. Into the corner, Brodin. And now Suter comes away with the puck and sends it out for Minnesota. Riley starts it back for the Maple Leafs. Gardner carries it in. Fires it cross ice. Lupul picks it up, deflects to Panik. Up high for Riley. Back to Panik along the boards. Lupul tied up by Brodin. Riley trying to hold. Parise was there. Now Haula deflects a pass. That allows Brodin a chance to come up with a puck for Minnesota. And it's deflected out of play.
Wild being pretty good on the penalty kill in this hockey game, but because they've had to be. They still own the shots on goal total in this hockey game by a considerable margin. The only real offensive zone pressure the Maple Leafs have been able to sustain has been when they've had the man advantage, and they'll have another chance here on top of what they have remaining on the Vanek minor.
Haula will go for tripping.
Minnesota Snelling, number 56, 100 pound for tripping.
So the Wild don't want to compound their problems, and this was simply a guy losing his balance. I don't really see much of a trip there, but nevertheless, the Wild, 18 seconds of 5-on-3 kill here.
So it's A dangerous spot here for the Wild. 2 men down. And one big part of their penalty kill in the penalty box. Another big part in the locker room already. And the Wild get a huge face-off win from their captain. And that allows Spurgeon to clear it. The first penalty will expire in just seconds. Vanek is back on. The Wild are 1 man short. Gardner fires off the end glass. Vanek comes up with a puck for Minnesota, plays it ahead to Koivu. Koivu at the Toronto line. Vanek hustles to the bench, so the Wild can get one of their regular penalty killers back on. Bozak to center ice. Riley lost it to Suter. Granlund ahead to Parise. Parise in shorthanded for Minnesota. Tries to work around Gardner. And the puck rolls in where it's steered to the corner easily by Bernier. Kessel, the leading power play point getter for Toronto this year. In the corner, he's bumped by Brodin. They tie up along the wall. Halfway through the minor penalty against Arakawa. Suter has it here for the Wild, and Suter will send it the length of the ice. Wild get another opportunity to change with a minute left in the period.
And here's where Mike Yeo has the benefit of guys that just because they're not penalty killing a lot this year, they still have the ability to. Guys like Granlund and Parise, who he's mostly taken off the penalty kill to give some other guys an opportunity to step up in that department, which they have. And also to allow them to concentrate on other areas of the game, which they have.
Connick in for Toronto. Plays it out to the point. Now across to Brewer. He fires. It was blocked, and Niederreiter has it to the line. Brewer knocks it down. Brewer backpedals to the middle. Across ice pass. Flipped out front by Eriksson. Dubnyk down. The puck is still loose. Dubnyk's now back in position. Power play is over. Hall is back on.
Another save by Dubnyk there in that scramble.
And this one's on goal. Dubnyk hangs on at the horn. Couple of good chances for Toronto, and then Devan Dubnyk makes a big stop for the Wild, preserving this 1-0 lead for Minnesota.
This scrum right here, and you see Dubnyk just trying to get back into the net. Once he does, he will make another save off the pad right here on this screen. A good job with his pads together as he lost his stick. And finally, as the buzzer went, he locks down the post. And Dubnyk not thinking maybe that he would have to make as many tough saves to preserve the lead, but he did so.
Window Concepts game reset. Coyle with the goal. Vanek extended his scoring streak to 8 games with an assist. And the Wild lead 1-0 after 2. Kevin Gord will chat with Sean Bergenheim next. Charlie Coyle with the only goal. It came back in the first period. Wild leading the Maple Leafs 1-0. Our Bud Light What's on Tap. It's back-to-backs for Minnesota. They're at it again tomorrow night against high-scoring rookie Anders Lee and the New York Islanders. Join us at 5:30 here on Fox Sports North.
Not an easy back-to-back here as the Wild with a little bit of a later start here, partly because of the time of the start and then the Eric Brewer 1,000-game ceremony. The Wild will have customs and travel, and not an easy trip to get into Long Island. So hopefully they can just finish this one out without too much more energy.
Bozak in and a quick backhander knocked down and covered by Dubnyk.
Dubnyk's been very good in this game. He has only faced the 17 shots, but again, we talk about the key and timely saves. 18 shots now. The timely saves he continues to make.
Remember right at the beginning of the show tonight, we talked about Mike Yeo and his comments on the 3 areas where a game like this can be dangerous. And he talked about taking a team lightly, talked about players thinking it was point night, but the third was the longer they stay close, the tighter sometimes the team expected to win will start to grip the sticks. And frustration can set in that we should be up 3-0 or 4-0, and instead it's a tight game, and you have to be able to continue to play it the same way you'd play it against a contending team. That's the challenge now for Minnesota here in the final 20 minutes This Maple Leafs club is down by only a goal as we open the third period.
Don't want to get yourself into what Mike Gill calls a 50-50 situations.
Van Riemsdyk along the boards for Toronto. Out to the point, Eriksson. Kessel. Lays it across. Riley's shot. Deflected by Dubnyk. Bozak keeps it alive. Van Riemsdyk for Kessel. Out to the point, Eriksson. Across to Riley. Riley plays down low. Van Riemsdyk for Kessel. Kessel works his way up the boards. His shot blocked by Koivu. And Koivu will reach the red line. Give it to Stewart. Wilder in onside. Stewart looking. Spurgeon waits. Fires. And it was pipped out by Bernier.
Great patience by the Wild, but just could not get the seam there at the last second for the deflection in front by Koivu.
Spurgeon plays it off the boards for Pominville. Tried to feather one through for Parise, but that was broken up, and Spurgeon plays it across to Scandella, then back to Spurgeon. Scandella dumps it in. Eriksson has it there for Toronto. Spurgeon holds at the line for Minnesota, plays it cross ice. McWilliam chased by Parise. Pominville delivers a hit in the corner. Spurgeon fires, that's off the glass. Scandella holds. Granlund in behind the net. Parise swoops in on a loose puck. Parise lost the handle on it, and it comes out the center. Spurgeon tied up at center. Lupul takes it away from Granlund. His pass out of the reach of Booth. Both teams changing as Scandella goes back to retrieve for Minnesota. Across to Jared Spurgeon, and ahead to Fontaine, who deflects it in. Brewer all the way out to center. Leopold there for Minnesota. Vanek tried to deflect it past Brewer, but it's taken away by Sill and played down into the Minnesota zone. Leopold off the boards, but not out of the zone. Komarov back to the point for Gardner. Leopold and Panik tie up. Coyle and Sill now tussle for a puck in the corner. Sill plays it in behind the net. Dumba has Panik tied up there. Panik able to kick it free. Leaves it behind for Komarov. Center. Sill on the backhand. Saved by Dubnyk. Fontaine unable to clear. Komarov to Gardner. A drive. Saved by Dubnyk again. Leafs starting to pressure here early in the third. Dumba fights off a hit. Got it to Fontaine. And the Wild finally able to clear the zone. Vanek works his way through neutral ice. Withstands a hook. Has to go back and pick up a loose puck in his own zone. Leaves it there for Dumba as the Wild complete their change. Bergenheim relays it in. Pominville taking the spot of Brodziak on this fourth line. Loose puck. Bergenheim unable to direct. Pominville to Studer. Back down low, Pominville. Into the corner, Bergenheim. Haula now with it for Minnesota. Haula plays it to the end boards. Pominville has it there. He's tied up on the play and lost the puck. Carrick sends it ahead for Toronto. It'll be icing against the Maple Leafs, and a face-off will come back down in the Maple Leaf zone.
Well, Stewart showed a lot of patience. Keep in mind, he's a guy who's scored 28 goals on 2 occasions. Very good patience there. Helped set up a great scoring chance. And then Dubnyk, well, if there's a man who has patience, it's Devan Dubnyk. Always positionally sound, waiting for the play to come to him, and made a few key stops there as he's being asked to hold the fort here. The Wild have been unable to get past that 1-goal mark.
Koivu tied up by Carrick on the play. The Maple Leafs able to clear. They'll try to change. Shooter trying to catch them. Niederreiter for Koivu. He flips to the corner. Stewart there for Minnesota. Brodin lays it back down low. Stewart unable to pinch Phaneuf off the puck. Phaneuf taps to Van Riemsdyk. He breaks for the net, and the deflection winds up in the corner. Niederreiter hit by Van Riemsdyk. Niederreiter plays it around for Koivu. Koivu flips it cross ice. Knocked down by Brewer. Stewart unable to strip him of the puck, and Van Riemsdyk brings it in. They're onside at the Minnesota line. Suter has it held by Phaneuf. Suter goes down. Parisi has it. He couldn't get it by Phaneuf. Kessel works his way to the middle, and Stewart got a stick on it to break up the scoring chance. Granlund carries to center. Wild changing. Granlund lost the handle on the puck just inside the Toronto line. Got it to Parisi along the boards. He's tied up by Van Riemsdyk. Van Riemsdyk able to come away with the puck. Plays it around behind. Scandella's there for Minnesota. Pominville behind the net. Feeds Parisi a shot. A save by Bernier. Your best shot at tickets to potential Stanley Cup playoff games and the 2016 Coors Light Stadium Series outdoor game is to purchase Wild season tickets for next season. Call 651-222-WILD or visit tickets.wild.com for details.
Another good setup there by the Wild as they're getting a lot of pressure in their own zone, but making some smart, effective plays to get out. They're able to work it down and get another draw in the offensive zone.
Coyle taps it back in his own zone. Scandella across to Spurgeon. Spurgeon for Fontaine. Good at the line. Charlie Coyle hustling in along the end boards. Got it to Vanek. Vanek tried to get one through to Fontaine, but it was broken up and taken away by Panik. Vanek back checking, able to poke it away from Sill. A bouncing puck. Gets by Gardner. Pressured by Fontaine. He plays it ahead for Panik. Matt Dumba back to the Wild. Dumba waits, then gives to Spurgeon. Get over! Jared Spurgeon. 4 points in 7 games since his return from injury. His return has allowed the Wild to really stabilize their defensive core. Van Riemsdyk plays it ahead for Bozak. Bozak fires, knocked down by Dubnyk, controlled by Haula. Brodziak races ahead for Minnesota. Brodziak works his way around Eriksson, still with the puck on the backhand. Eriksson rides him into the boards. Bergenheim holds. Haula plays it off the end wall. It's tapped, but not out. Bergenheim has it. Bergenheim escapes Eriksson, works to the front, has the puck roll off the end of his stick, and the Leafs clear.
That's such a great play, and Bergenheim almost was able to play it to perfection where you can use your size and strength to get to the front of the net. Not an easy save for a goaltender to make if you get your shot off.
Niederreiter fires just wide, and the rebound is tied up just before Niederreiter could deflect it behind Bernier. Wild had used that play a couple of times tonight, once by Koivu, there by Niederreiter. Each time they've come close, but have not been able to cash in. Matt Dumba with it for Minnesota. Ahead for Stewart. Stewart gains the offensive zone. Tried to get it to Niederreiter. Niederreiter now working free from Brewer. Panik along the wall. Plays it across to Komarov, who comes to center. Komarov sends Carrick into the Minnesota zone. Carrick bumped by Leopold. Komarov emerges with the puck. Back to Gardner. Gardner shot blocked by Niederreiter and cleared through neutral ice. Gardner. Lindstrom able to duck underneath a Pominville check. Lindstrom into the offensive zone. Tied up by Dumba. Dumba got a stick on it before he could get a shot away. Carrick plays it along the boards. Now out to the point. Gardner's long shot. Deflected on the way. And Dubnyk will cover off. Dubnyk handles a tricky deflection by Carrick. Then covers on the rebound. Still 1-0 Minnesota. Wild 1, Maple Leafs 0. 24 saves tonight for Devan Dubnyk. Our Jimmy John's delivery of the game shows you just how different things have been for the Wild on the road since Dubnyk arrived. Look at the goals against. Look at the penalty kill. And that's in spite of the fact that the Wild have been outshot in those road games since Dubnyk has arrived.
Yeah, he's giving you an example of not just quantity, but quality. And Devan Dubnyk, it's amazing what a goaltender that you trust back there and that you can count on at times when you're getting lots of pressure. Can do some amazing things on the road. The Wild are hoping they don't just have to hang on here. They need to maybe add one and take some of that pressure off.
Sill flips it into the Minnesota zone. Panik back to pick it up. He's bumped by Suter. Komarov tried the center, taken away by Granlund. Granlund's dumped as he tried to exit the zone, and Komarov is there for Toronto to play it back in. Dubnyk behind the net for Ryan Suter, and around behind the Brodin, now Granlund.
Just that little play there by Dubnyk opened up things.
Suter in for Minnesota, drops it back, Vanek scores! Second point of the night for Vanek off the feed from Ryan Suter, and the Wild with a 2-goal lead.
In a game like this, that's huge breathing room. Good rush here, and just a little back pass, and eventually Vanek follows up. I love the way Fontaine drove the zone. When you have forwards that either drive the middle or drive the wall, especially with the puck, you're going to bring someone with you. And Fontaine brought the defender with him. That opened up the drop pass to Suter, and he showed great patience. Finally found Vanek, who squeaked one through.
5 assists in the last 7 games now for Ryan Suter. And Thomas Vanek now with 51 points in his in 52 career games against Toronto. Always seems to put up big numbers against this Maple Leafs club. 23 goals, 28 assists. Really a point-per-game player in his career against the Leafs. 5 times he's had multiple goals in a game against Toronto. Here tonight, it's a goal and an assist.
Yeah, big, and again, the success he's seeing with the comfort on that line. Fontaine's been a big factor on that for various reasons. His speed, his hockey sense. Coyle has done a great job moving to the center ice position and becoming a factor there. And they feed off each other very well, this time using Ryan Suter in the mix.
Draw controlled by the Wild. Brodin has it here for Minnesota. Nearing the halfway point of the third period. And the Wild now in front by 2. Fontaine also credited with an assist on the Vanek goal, his 19th of the year. Booth, watched by Brodin. As always seems to be the case, Brodin gets his stick on the puck. Suter then plays it to the corner where Koivu has his man tied up. Niederreiter and Lupul battling there. It's Lupul that emerges with the puck. Down low for Booth. Watched by Brodin. Booth into the corner. Smith and Koivu collide there. Suter couldn't handle the pass cleanly. Booth and plays it back in, but Koivu's the first man there for Minnesota. Brodin plays it ahead. Stewart able to deflect it out to center ice. Niederreiter has it knocked away by Phaneuf. Stewart there for Minnesota. Springs Granlund. Granlund works around Phaneuf. Granlund never takes the shot. Sets up behind the net. Waiting as his line mates join the play. Granlund then tried to play it up high, but it was behind Pominville and out of the reach of Dumba, all the way back into Wild territory.
Hook up your voice.
Pominville to Parise. Pominville's wiped out after making the pass. Parise's shot held by Bernier. And the Wild suddenly with a little jump, leading by 2 in the third. Our Toyota get caught up. Charlie Coyle wins an offensive zone face-off. With some help from Vanek, he creates a scoring chance. Puts it in the back of the net, 1-0 Minnesota, and then Suter drops to Vanek, who beats Bernier. It's a 2-point night for Vanek. And the Wild have a 2-goal lead in the back half of the third period here in Toronto. Maple Leafs club that has been in a tailspin since the first of the year. Pominville fires, and that was blocked. In fact, it's been so long since the Leafs have actually held a lead in the flow of the game. Their only recent win was a shootout win against the Buffalo Sabres. The last time a game was actually going on with Toronto in front was almost 400 minutes ago.
That's tough to play hockey that way. Always chasing, always playing the risk-reward type game. They've closed the gap a little bit here in shots on goal. They're down in shots 27-18 after 2 periods. But they've been able to get a few good chances here in the third. Dubnyk did his job, and the Wild gave him some support with the second goal.
How many times have we seen that during the Devan Dubnyk era here with the Wild, where that one stretch during a game where the opposition is really pushing, as Toronto was here early in the third, he makes a couple of big saves, allows the Wild to regain control of the game.
Timely. He's been very timely. And it's not always easy because that pressure sometimes comes off the back end of their own team pushing, and so the goaltender hasn't seen a lot.
Toronto, one of the teams already eliminated mathematically from the playoff race. Just 9 games left for the Leafs. You can see the Rangers, Islanders, Penguins right now would hold the divisional spots. It's the subject of our Sanford Health Injury Report. Former Wild forward Pascal McQueen.
Yeah, we wish him the best. Obviously, it's a tough situation for him to be in, and we've seen him come back in tough situations before to fight back to play in the National Hockey League, and he will attempt to do it again, but it won't be until next season.
Van Riemsdyk plays it across for Kessel. Kessel centers. Dubnyk kicks it out. Bozak waits for it to settle down, and now Niederreiter has it for Minnesota. Flips one cross ice for Stewart. Stewart trying to work his way around Brewer. Niederreiter pinned up against the wall by Bozak.
Let's go, guys. Keep it moving. I see it now. Let's go.
Whistle will not blow the whistle as these 4 players battle for the puck.
You rarely see pucks frozen along the wall. You remember years ago, there would actually be whistles blown.
Stewart had Niederreiter all alone out front, but he couldn't get a passing lane. And now the Leafs come to center. Good play by Scandella back to break that up. Stewart grabs a loose puck for Minnesota. Wild changing. Stewart flings it into the corner and heads off. Rush 5 for the Wild as Brewer sets up behind the net for Toronto. Maple Leafs club that had playoff aspirations. Brodziak to Bergenheim. Haula breaking in. Tried to center, and Bergenheim was tied up by Brewer. That's why this collapse in the second half is so remarkable. Lupo with a shot. It's through the pads, and they score. It's not through the pads of Dubnyk. Haula just couldn't quite get there, and it's Gardner that hammers the rebound into the empty net. Minnesota's lead cut in half.
Cut in half with a lot of time left. This one, Dumba's kind of caught flat-footed a little bit because he wasn't expecting to see that puck come trickling through and was not able to get there before the Maple Leafs did. The puck was wobbling and rolling when it was shot, and when it comes off a stick like that, it's often hard for a goaltender to read. Dubnyk was way out to cut down the angle, so he had everything he wanted to make that save. But it somehow found its way to trickle through this gear, and got a hockey game again here.
4th of the year for Gardner. 21st career NHL goal. For the man who played his high school hockey at Minnetonka, his college hockey at Wisconsin. And now Minnesota looks for a response. It's the Parise, Pominville, Granlund line for the Wild. Lindstrom sends it across for Riley. Riley works his way around. Granlund tried to center. That was broken up by Suter. Lindstrom with it. Pressured by Suter as he plays it down low. Lupo the only assist on the Toronto goal. Suter ahead to Parise. Tried to go cross ice. It's knocked down by Lindstrom. Lindstrom's pass. Then pulls it into the Minnesota zone. He's trying to work his way around Brodin in the corner. From the point, his shot kicked out by Suter. Bozak down low. Cut off by Granlund, and the loose puck picked up by Brodin. For the first time tonight, we hear the Goal Leafs go chant here in Toronto.
I don't know for a fact, but I would suspect first time in a long time. I mean, this is a city that was throwing jerseys on the ice at one point this season.
Van Riemsdyk brings it in. Centers for Kessel. He fires, and a save by Dubnyk. Vanek deflects it out to neutral ice. Inside 5 minutes remaining. Brewer fell. Kessel's there to pick up the loose puck for Toronto. Brewer for Van Riemsdyk. He races into the Minnesota zone. Drops to Bozak. Bozak's shot blocked by Spurgeon. Phaneuf has it. Fires. Save by Dubnyk. He stretches the right pad out. Stops Phaneuf. And then Kessel on the rebound.
What a tremendous save by Dubnyk, stretching that long leg out and holding the 2-1 lead.
Well, Jamie, his team might need a couple more timely saves from Devan Dubnyk before this one is over. 4:37 left here in Toronto. Dubnyk has stopped 31 of 32 Toronto shots to this point.
13-5 shot advantage in the third period for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So they have pressed in this period.
Lupul, who assisted on their goal just moments ago. Koivu tied up by Booth. Lupul emerges with the puck for Toronto. On the backhand, he centers for Smith, and it deflects up and into the netting, out of play.
Well, when a team hasn't faced a lot of success, when they're around the possibility of it, you get a little bit of excitement. The Toronto Maple Leafs were only down 1-0 when the Wild went up to 2-0. They continued to press and were rewarded for it. Now I think they're trying to do everything they can to make it an even-up game.
Icing against Minnesota. And a face-off back down in Dubnyk's neighborhood.
What I like about the Wild is that every one of their lines is played with structure, which means that defensively Mike Yeo trusts every single line out there, every D pairing.
Koivu on this draw against Carrick. Koivu pulls it back. Brodin to Haula, who relays it out to center ice. Haula heads off as Booth plays it back into his own zone for Gardner. Gardner, the goal scorer for Toronto tonight. Riley, pressured by Niederreiter, sends it up the wall, all the way down, icing against Toronto. And a face-off back in the Leafs zone, less than 4 minutes remaining.
The place where the Wild enjoyed a lot of their face-offs in this hockey game, but this third period has seen a lot of defensive zone face-offs. And Mikko Koivu won a huge one just a few seconds ago.
Parisi taps it back to the point. Scandella plays it off the end board. Granlund trying to keep it alive. He's knocked down by Carrick. Lupul has it there for Toronto, pressured by Pominville. Spurgeon's pass for Parisi, deflected back to Scandella. Scandella trying to get it to Pominville, tipped away by Gardner. Van Riemsdyk in for Toronto, drops to Booth. His shot goes wide. Riley able to hold the zone. Van Riemsdyk tips it out front for Booth, taken away by Spurgeon. Around the wall. Brewer able to hold the zone. Van Riemsdyk out to the point for Phaneuf. Phaneuf centers. Booth deflects, and a pad saved by Dubnyk. Bozak back to Phaneuf. Long shot, got through, loose puck. Dubnyk able to cover with traffic nearby.
Boy, oh boy, those are dicey, difficult moments for defensemen and goaltenders. Defensemen are trying to balance taking a player and also taking the puck. So they have a couple of jobs to do, and then Dubnyk has to all of a sudden gain ice and find the puck through legs and sticks. He was able to do that, but scrambles are so unpredictable. That's what makes them so difficult, and the Wild haven't had to face a lot of them because Dubnyk not only freezes a lot of pucks, but the Wild defensive boxed out and cleared pucks and blocked shots. But that one was as close as they come.
Brodziak with it here for Minnesota. Another situation where the Wild always have a couple of players capable of taking faceoffs on the ice at the same time, especially on those defensive zone draws. Van Riemsdyk sends it ahead for Phaneuf. Back to Van Riemsdyk, who throws it on goal. Dubnyk with the stop and covers.
And now the Maple Leafs have officially jumped over top of the Minnesota Wild by a couple of shots in this game. So what looked like was going to be a fairly relaxed night for Devan Dubnyk has become one of a bit of a workload, and discussed plenty of the scenarios where Dubnyk doesn't continue this games played streak, but there's nothing that has jumped out to this point that has not allowed him to. Still feels good.
Smith against Koivu on this draw, but Smith is booted from the circle. The Wild are minus 13 on faceoffs tonight. But Koivu's had another solid night. 13 wins, 11 losses. He's the only player Mike Yeo changed before this draw, and Koivu wins it, but the Wild turn it over. Lupul plays it back in. Brodin hustles up the boards. Unable to get it past Brewery, plays it back in for Suter. Phaneuf has it poked away by Haula and then cleared by Koivu. Booth in for Toronto. Rings it around. Dubnyk falls. Lupul whips it toward the net, trying to catch Dubnyk off guard. And Dubnyk able to cover the puck.
Well, goal pads these days are very firm. They're not pillowy. They have a really hard core of foam, and Dubnyk falling down doesn't help, but being able to lock his pads against the ice like this seals it up. Dubnyk just caught an edge and went down. Whoa, his recovery was very important there.
Granlund on the draw against Bozak. Seen a lot of this top line for Toronto here in the third period. Bozak, Kessel, and Van Riemsdyk. Wild able to clear. Joe counters here with Parise and Granlund. Coyle was the second faceoff man on the ice for the Wild. Gardner plays it across for Riley. Riley pressured by Granlund. Poke checked away by Granlund. Parise fights it into the Toronto zone, but then Bozak comes away with it. Bozak for Gardner. Spurgeon strips it away. Bernier was trying to head to the bench. Instead, now he's back in the net for Toronto. Granlund taps to Parise. Riley there for Toronto. Gardner backpedals and now pushes it forward for Bozak. It's off the glass to the Minnesota line. Bernier to the bench. Extra skater for the Leafs. Coyle sends it out for Minnesota.
He smartly doesn't go for it from inside his own blue line. He just floats one just inside the blue line of the Maple Leaf zone.
Bill Kessel sends it ahead. His pass handcuffs Lupul. That forces a turnover. Pominville with the empty net. Plays it across to Koivu. Koivu hits the post. Gardner has it here for Toronto. Up through neutral ice. Pominville collides there. Suter flips it toward the empty net but wide. Icing against the Wild with 37 seconds left.
Well, hopefully this backhander by Koivu is not necessary. He was being pressured on the play, just couldn't get his body turned enough to get it on that empty net.
Timeout taken here by Toronto. Watch this play and how close Mikko comes to sealing the deal.
Well, good feed there by Pominville, but a rolling puck and a good stick there by Riley just kept him at bay. And so this face-off in the Minnesota Wild zone is key. And the goaltender will be out for Toronto.
Wonder who Mike Yeo asked to take the face-off.
I sense some sarcasm there.
Mikko Koivu, one of the best in the business on the draw. 14 face-off wins tonight. He's had only one sub-500 game on the draw in his last 13. The league leaders in face-off wins, face-off percentage. This one very important against Bozak, and Koivu pulls it back safely. Phaneuf able to hold, but then Koivu pressures to clear. Mikko wins the draw and gets the clear for the Wild. 22 seconds left as Lupul hits the Minnesota line, and they're offside. This will now bring a neutral zone draw with 20.7 left.
Well, other than the percentage on faceoffs, you don't see what Mikko Koivu just did on the stat sheet. Or at least it doesn't look heavy on the stat sheet, but it was huge to not only win the draw, but to get the puck out at the blue line when their goaltender is pulled and they had an extra attacker. Those are the kind of things, those intangibles, if you will, that Koivu brings so often.
Another big face-off win, this one by Brodziak, who hasn't taken many draws tonight. The Leafs now have to go the length of the ice. Kessel at the Minnesota line, poked away and cleared by Charlie Coyle. Riley hustles back, 4 seconds left. Riley sends it in, the horn sounds, and the Wild have won their 9th road game in a row.
A very tight one at that, but the Wild are able to hold off the Toronto Maple Leafs, who will end up on the positive side of the shot clock, but Devan Dubnyk and company put together a great effort and win this road game. The 9th, it gives them their 21st on the season. That's a team record. It also gives them 44 points this season on the road, another team record in their history.
Our 10-star star of the game, a man who's always had success against the Leafs. A goal and an assist tonight for Tom Vanek. And the Wild are winners 2-1. Jamie, 9 in a row on the road for the Wild.
An incredible streak for Mike Yo's club. We'll hear from the head coach and get some player reaction for tonight's big win in Toronto. Stick around for Wild Live, presented by CenturyLink. Coming up next.